Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
What does my face tell you?
So dramatic.
Does it say that I'm vain?
Am I vain?
Or does it tell you that I'm strong?
Or am I strong?
That I'll run this company someday?
I'm gonna run this company
My
someday.
face can be bold.
Definitely
You
bold.
expect me to be weak.
No way.
It can be subtle, innocent, sensual.
It's kind of private.
Comforting as your best friend's laugh.
Possibly.
With highlighter, lipstick,
Oh.
and mascara.
Oh.
I express who I am right now
Yes.
and who I want to be.
Yes, that's motivational.
I am what I make up.
I am what I make up. And we're about to see whether this makeup is as dramatic and magical as CoverGirl tells us it is. We're getting started right now. Hello, my friends. I'm very excited today because I have been trying these products for like a month. And I finally have it together to tell you what I think of all of these CoverGirl products that were sent to me. So many of my friends got the same box, and I'm so thankful that CoverGirl was able to reach out not just to these super large influencers, but some of us that are not so large, and giving us a chance to try their spring line. And in this box is CoverGirl's entire spring line. I tried most of the things in here. Hello, Editing Jen here already. This video is way longer than I thought it was going to be, so I will put timestamps down in the video description. If you want to skip just directly to my full review, that timestamp is down below, so make sure you click there. Don't feel like you have to watch the whole thing, but there's a lot of really cool stuff that I'm going to do in this video to demonstrate the products and show how they work. So if you're interested in that, definitely watch the whole thing. If you want to skip ahead, you're not hurting my feelings. Your time is valuable. Definitely use those timestamps down in the video description, and let's go ahead and get started. So what I figured we would do today is I will not only give you swatches of every single lip product in this box, that includes this top tray, as well as this entire, oh, if I can show you, second tray of lip products. We're also going to be doing a dupe wear test. And what I mean by that is I'm going to be applying these CoverGirl products on one side of my face and then testing them against some high-end products on the other side of my face. We're going to do a wear test and we're going to see whether these CoverGirl products can hang with the high-end counterparts. And I'm really excited for this video because I've never made a video quite like this, but I've made things similar and I just feel like my channel is evolving in a really neat direction, and I'm excited to do this with you. So let's go ahead and get going, and let me tell you what is in this box. So first, we got all of the CoverGirl Melting Pout Mattes. In the second drawer, we have all of the Katy Kat lip glosses, as well as the Queen Major Shade lipsticks. In the eyes drawer, we have a bunch of brow products. We have some twist up brow pencils, also some brow gels, brow pomades kind of thing down in the bottom here. There's also 3 eyeshadow palettes. There's a bunch of liquid eyeliners in here, some mascaras, and an eyeshadow primer. And finally, in the skin drawer, we have 2 of the Vitalist Glow Luminizing Lotions. We have 4 pressed powders, and I do believe this is the entire shade range, wah, 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 and it gets even more wah, wah as I tell you what I think of it. And then we've got these Healthy Glow highlighters. They're really weird. We'll get to those. There's also a True Blend Pre-Touching palette. I believe this is a color correcting palette. And then over here, concealers. I also believe that that is the entire range. I'm not sure if you can see the shades, but again, wah, wah, wah. Don't worry, my dark skin beauties, you are not missing out on much, but we'll get to that. And then here, CoverGirl Lock Up All Day Setting Mist. And that was what was in the box. Okay, so where we're gonna start with this is with the Vitalist Go Glow Luminizing Lotion. I've been using this kind of like a face primer, and we're gonna compare that with the Cover FX Luminizing Primer. We'll have my left side, which is on your right-hand side of the screen, be the CoverGirl side, and then the left side is going to be the high-end side. So one thing I've noticed about this particular product is that it blends right into the skin. There is no pigment once you start rubbing it in. It also has a very, very pleasant scent. It's almost a beachy kind of scent. It smells very nice to me. It almost has a little bit of an oily texture to it. So if you don't like that, you probably won't like this very much. Personally, I really like it, and I do feel like it compares to the Cover FX. This is the Illuminating Primer Base. And we'll go ahead and put that on this side. I've been really digging on the luminized look recently. Now for me, because I have normal skin, I just put my primer everywhere. I don't have any place like my T-zone where I have to be extra careful or anything. So I just kind of slop it all over my face. That's what I do with it. Because they did not include a foundation, I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Too Faced Born This Way foundation for both sides of my face. And that way we know we have the same going on for both sides because we're testing the lotion, not the foundation. So we're gonna do the same thing on both sides. And also I know this foundation really well, so I know what it normally does. So I know if something funky is going on, I'm gonna be able to pick it out. Bonk, 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 bonk. Actually, let me go ahead and zoom you in so you can really see what I'm doing here. One thing I realized is I forgot to do my little spiel at the beginning about CoverGirl as a brand. I guess because I just assume everybody already knows about CoverGirl, but you should not assume. You know what they say when you assume, right? So CoverGirl is not a cruelty-free brand. They are a drugstore brand, so they are more affordably priced than other places. The reason why they are not cruelty-free is because they do sell their products in mainland China, and China does test all of their foreign products on animals, or at least mainland China does, not Hong Kong. But they do test all of their products on animals. So when a brand agrees to sell in China, they know that their products are going to be sold, tested on animals. So therefore, they're kind of, in a way, condoning the animal testing. CoverGirl does not test on animals in the United States. And one thing that's really odd, like speaking of the United States, is that some of CoverGirl products like this is made in the United States, but other of their products, some of them are made in France, some of them are made in Canada. I don't think any of them are made in China. I think that's really interesting, especially for a less expensive brand. Let's go ahead and go into the brow product. I'm gonna read what these things are. So this thing is called the Easy Breezy Brow Microfine Plus Define Brow Pencil, and this is called the Easy Breezy Brow Sculpt Plus Set Brow Pomade. Woo, that's a mouthful. So let's go ahead and apply those. And just so you know, as far as brow pencils go, the roll-up kind are the worst deal out there. If you want the biggest bang for your buck, you do not want to get a roll-up brow pencil because you are paying thousands of dollars per ounce, and I'm not exaggerating there either, no matter what brand you get. But if you need a very sharp point, this one is very good. There are a lot of brow pencils out there like this. Some of them are definitely not good because they take some scrubbing to put on your brows, but like this one, the Anastasia one, the Benefit one, the Too Faced one, the L'Oreal one, the one even from Unique, believe it or not, they're all pretty much the same stinking thing. Even some of the formulas are very, very similar. So is the CoverGirl one good? Yes, it's good. I do like it. Okay, so let's go into the pomade. I also really, really like the pomade. Let me show you how this works. So what you do is you take this little brushy thing out, and you're supposed to clip it back in and then use this like a handle. I find this to be a little too wiggly jiggly. I don't like it, so I just take that part off and I just use the little tiny grip here, and that's good enough for me. And there's a little gel inside. You don't get a lot of product in this, which kind of stinks, but it works very, very well. I don't find it to run through the day or anything. It's very nice. And it fills in my brows very, very well. I do believe there's only 4 shades available. That's my only thing, is that I wish that there were more shades. Anastasia kills it in the shade selection part. I'm just gonna go back into the spoolie and spoolie this baby out. I don't spend a lot of time on my brows. I probably should spend more time on my brows, but I don't. And this is one of my favorite brow products. I really like this a lot. This is the Ka-Brow by Benefit, and this is probably my favorite brow gel brow pomade of all time. I like it better than the Anastasia because it isn't quite as opaque. I actually like it a little better than the CoverGirl as well. And I just noticed that's a little bit darker than the CoverGirl. And I put it on a little bit thicker. Try to spoolie it out a little more. What is it? Twins, not sisters, not twins? I think that's what we've got going on today. All right, eyeshadow primer. If you've been around my channel for the past month or so, I cannot stop raving about this stuff. This is the CoverGirl Lid Lockup. We're going to put that head to head with Urban Decay's Primer Potion, the original one. And I'm going to show you how amazing this stuff is. And I've noticed more and more reviews talking about how awesome this is. And when I first started talking about it, I don't know if I had seen any reviews, and I'm like, I hope this works for other people because it really works for me. Let's talk about the texture of this. So it is a little bit sticky. It doesn't feel like the Urban Decay. The Urban Decay is much smoother. This one has a little tackiness to it. Like right now, as my eye is opening and closing, I can feel a little tackiness to it that I don't feel with any other primer that I own. The Urban Decay is definitely oilier. So if you have a problem with the Urban Decay because it is oilier, you will probably like the CoverGirl much better. Now with the eyeshadow, I feel kind of bad because I'm at this video and I never tried this product. This is the Smoky palette. I'm actually not going to try this. I have had such bad luck with the CoverGirl True Naked palettes that I didn't even give it a chance, and I feel bad now because I feel like I should have given it a chance, but I didn't. Instead, we're going to use the Katy Kat palette, and we're going to do a combination of a look between these two palettes, and we're going to do the same look on both eyes. That way we can test the eyeshadow primer. I'm just going to set up the look with some of these more neutral shades, and then we'll put some fun pops of color on there. And what I'm finding mostly with this palette overall is that it, without eyeshadow primer, the lasting power is terrible. It's so bad. It'll barely last through a 6-hour day before it's like muddy and coming off and just awful. But with the eyeshadow primer, it actually works pretty well. So I'm just going to dip into this shade right here and just put that in my crease. And in case you are new to my channel, I don't do tutorials. My job, I feel here, is not to give you the most artistic, beautiful look. That's not what I do here, even though I know that's what a lot of people do. What I just want to do is put this on my face in a way that you may put it on your face, possibly, so that we can see whether it works well or not. And you might be able to already notice that the pigmentation here seems a little bit darker, and that's because of the tackiness of that primer. It really holds on to the product. Okay, now I'm just going to deepen it up a little bit with this shade here. This one does have a little bit of shimmer in it, but when you apply it, you don't really see it much. Let's go into this other one. This palette is called the Cool Cat palette, and I think I want to do a look with this shade right here. It's a green brown shade, and then this like tealy kind of like light blue color. I think that would be really fun. So I'm just going to start patting that on with my fingertip, and it is very creamy, and I'm surprised because usually drugstore eyeshadows are very powdery. I am not a fan overall of drugstore eyeshadows. I find them to be powdery, I find them to be difficult to work with, and I don't enjoy them. So I found this to be a nice surprise. Can you see the duochrome shift in there? I mean, it's nothing super unique in that lots of brands have a duochrome, you know, green brown, blue brown kind of shade, but I think it's very pretty, and I think they did do a really nice job with this color. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the tealish kind of shade on the middle to the inner corner. I mean, it's just very, very beautiful. It's not super opaque though. That's one thing I have to say about it. That if you really want it to be very opaque, you're going to need to apply it over a white base. And I'm just going to take this little Sigma E20 brush and just pull this shade over here into the inner corner. Just to give it a little pop in there. A little silver pop. And to kind of pull it all together, I'm going to use this glittery black. Just gently in my crease to just kind of pull everything together, just a little tiny bit on each side. I feel like through the blending, I kind of lost a little bit of the green brown. So I'm going to apply just a little bit more of that just to make sure that doesn't get lost on the outer corner. Just brighten that back up, and a little more of the blue because it blended in a little bit too much. And for lower lash line, we'll just go back over to the other palette, and we will throw this black. It's more of a matte black. down on the lower lash line. I'm wiping off any excess powder there because I don't want any more product. That's plenty of product. I'm just gonna smoke out what's there. Okay, eyeshadow is done. Let's go ahead and do liquid liner. I tried every one of these liquid liners. There's a teal, there's a brown, there's a glitter black, there's a matte black, and then there's a glossy black. And honestly, I really like all of them. This is the thing though. At first, I hated them. And the reason why is because I didn't shake them up. If you buy these, please make sure you shake it up, because if you don't, you're gonna end up with just glossy liquid. It's stupid, it looks terrible. Just make sure you shake it. One thing I do not like about these is they don't have the color names written on them, they just have numbers. So you have to, like for me, I would have to look up the number in order to know which one I'm using. So right now, I don't know if I've got the glossy black or the matte black. I know it's one or the other, but I don't know which one. Ooh, ooh, shake it up. And one thing I absolutely love about this liner is that it's so fine. Makes it really, really easy to apply, even if you're a beginner at liquid liner. I think this is fabulous, especially if you do not have eye wrinkles, because it does tend to get hung up a little bit in eye wrinkles, and it can seep a little bit into my fine lines, but not bad. I've definitely had worse. But because it's so fine, it's very easy to work with, and it's easy to get a nice thin line. All right, now on the right side, I'm gonna use the Balm's Schwing eyeliner. This is the only eyeliner that I own that is not a pen, because I prefer pens overall. Should I do a wing? Yeah, let's go ahead and do a wing, but I have to like put the mirror down in order to do the wing, so I'm gonna do the wing off camera. I'll be right back. Okay, you ever have that moment when you're doing your eyeliner and you make it just a little bit bigger, and the next thing you know, you're Amy Winehouse? That is exactly what just happened to me. Totally Amy Winehouse right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, and the Balm one, look at this. It's like transferring up into my crease. This is terrible. Don't worry, we're gonna fix it. It's called micellar water and Q-tips. Oh my gosh. We've got this. We've got this. Except for that I've got eyeliner on my face now. All right, let's go up to the CoverGirl side. It's like not even smudging off. Well, that's interesting. This is actually quite an interesting little happy experiment here that we just did. To see, look how much easier that came off than the Balm's one. The Balm one like smeared everywhere. That was like super fast and easy. Well, that's good to know. See, happy accidents, happy accidents. I don't know what is happening over here, but we're gonna fix it. Try to make my eyes go back to matching a little bit. So should we try to do the wings again? Should we dare? Let's dare. Let's just do little wings this time. Just little wings. Come on, Jen, you can do this. I better not mess this up again. Now the pressure is on. I'm feeling the pressure. Here we go, little wings. Not big wings. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go into concealer. I'm feeling the need for concealer. Okay, so the concealer shade range is really, really sad. The need for these three shades to be different, it's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? These are three of the shades you chose? Like, I could pick any one of these and think that I was doing the right thing. I mean, they look almost exactly the same. And the thing is none of them are labeled, like, at all. So I don't even know what shade this is. They just all look stinking the same. My friend Shy from Makeup Struggles got the same box, and she's like, yeah, these are the darkest shades they make. Shy like laughed. She was like, you have got to be kidding me. When I talked to her about it, I was like, there's no way you got the same box as me. She was like, yup, every single shade was light. So these are the darkest shades that are in there. Just, no. No. Bad CoverGirl. Bad CoverGirl. It's one of those roll up, click up kinds of products, which are definitely not my favorites. And this concealer, I can tell you right now, I don't like. And the reason why I don't like it is because it doesn't really do anything. It's super low coverage, like really low coverage. I should have gotten my smaller one of these, but I'm being lazy. It's got a little bit of coverage there, but for the most part, it doesn't really do very much. The closest thing I have to this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin. This is in the shade Fair Neutral, but you can just see how much creamier that is. And I think part of that is the applicator too, that I just really don't like those click up applicators at all. And I'm really regretting that I didn't just suck it up and get the right brush, because this is not applying the way I normally would. I should have done it differently, but I can't go back now. I gotta go pick up my kids from the bus stop soon. I would not invest my money in it unless you want something super, 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 just the littlest bit of coverage. Or if you're just trying to brighten a little bit, then I can see maybe liking it. But if you want it actually to cover anything, it's not good. Speaking of terrible shade ranges, check out these shades, the powders. It's so sad. It's so sad. This is the lightest shade of powder and it's too dark for me. And I'm more of like a light, edging on light medium occasionally depending on the line. The next lightest one is this one. I don't want to open it, but like I'll hold them next to each other. That's the next lightest one. These are the two medium shades. I can't even say these are even close to deep. But just know that I know that you know, and you know that I know that this does not match my skin tone at all. I'm just gonna pack this under my eyes first. And the higher end product we're going to use is from Pure. This is their 4-in-1 pressed mineral makeup. This is the closest I had to something like this because lately I really have been preferring the the more loose powders. I so need to get my brows done. Like really, really bad. So now we're gonna go ahead and get into the mascara. For mascara, they sent 2 Peacock Flare mascaras. One of them is the Hydrofuge, which is the waterproof, and one is the regular. They're both awful. They're both just really bad. They don't do anything, but we're gonna put it on anyway, just because we're doing this and we're gonna do it. So we'll put on the regular because I'm not a fan of waterproof mascaras, just because I don't like having to take off waterproof mascaras. It's such a dry mascara. It's so dry that you can't even barely get the product onto your lashes. And the wand is way too long. Like, I don't even know what they were thinking with these like back end bristles here. Like, I have no idea what the logic was there. Like, what are those exactly supposed to do? Like, who designed this? And can I speak with you? Because that's not functional. It's not logical. They don't get to the hairs at all. And I'm having so much trouble getting any product out of this tube. Okay, so there's one coat. Go ahead and go in with the second coat. I almost wish they hadn't included a mascara so I could just wear falsies. I think falsies would look really pretty with this look. And I've definitely got clumps coming off out of the product. I mean, this is just, mascara is not good. I've been kind of neglecting my mascara game lately, so all I have right now is the Tarteist mascara. It's the like only one that I'm really messing with that's high end right now. So we'll just put that on the other side. But I don't really think these even compare really, because I think the Tarteist is definitely meant for more volume. I totally got mascara on my face. But it's definitely a little more dry, at least now that it's aged a little bit. It's gotten a little drier. But I mean, they don't even compare. I'm just gonna stop there because I don't want them to be that much different. If I keep going with layering this, they're gonna be drastically different. They already are pretty different. But let me just go ahead and close my eyes so you can see what we've got going on so far. Now, these Healthy Glow things, I don't really get these, but these seem like they would be way better on a person of color than on me. Like, there's no way I could use that as a highlighter. There's just no way. So at least there's something. At least there's something. And oh, and then there's the Queen lipsticks, which we'll get into in a minute. But like, there's only a couple of these that I feel like I can personally use, but not complaining that they actually have something in here that might work for people of color. But I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to use this one right here. This one is the shade, I don't know, because it doesn't say on here, because this entire line is not labeled. I guess they just didn't want to name things. This one's called number 3. And it is kind of a rose gold kind of shade. And it's just a very odd highlighter. Very odd. Let me show you. It just kind of sets onto the skin rather than sinking into the skin. This is a concern for me because I have not used this in about a week and it's starting to dry out a little bit. When I first got this, it felt kind of oily, where now it is much more creamy and it's actually a lot easier to work with than it was when I first got it. But that concerns me that it's going to dry out even further. That's actually much more beautiful than when I was using it when I first got the package. See the glow? It's very pretty. I'm surprised. This one right here I hadn't used yet, and it's just got kind of an oily texture to it, where this one has kind of dried a little bit, and this one's a little bit more creamy now, like a little more, not bouncy, but a little more color poppy, it's got a little more like clay almost feeling to it. And for my high end, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty shade. This one is in Chic Freak, and we're going to put that on the other side. I know it's not a cream formula, but the shades are kind of similar. Yeah, the finishes are totally different. My biggest concern right now is the drying up factor. That is what I'm concerned about, and I will definitely keep you posted in the video description about that. There's no blush or contour in this collection, so I'm not going to put any on because I don't want to mess with the rest of everything by adding in blush and contour. I want you to be able to see what everything is doing that we're actually reviewing today, so that this is going to be kind of an unfinished look and that I'm not going to use those kinds of products. But what we are going to do is we are going to put on lip products. There are a ton of lip products in here. I am going to show you swatches of everything in just a minute, but I do have a dupe for you. My absolute favorite discovery for lips in this kit was the CoverGirl Queen Major Shade liquid lipstick in the shade Rebel, and it is pretty much a spot-on dupe for Dose of Colors Mondays, which is one of my favorite shades of all time. So let's go ahead and put that on either side. It's so weird putting it just on half my lips. So not used to doing that. We'll even it out eventually. I do like the Dose of Colors applicator much better. It's softer. Oh man. I thought it was an exact dupe until now they're next to each other on my lips. We'll see if it oxidizes, because I think that it will. And they're close enough that I don't think anybody at the bus stop is going to notice. And we're just testing how it wears anyway. So I'm just gonna let it be. Let it be, let it be. It's not perfect, it's a little weird in the application, but we'll be able to check the wear time of it. I definitely see a lot more color here on my cheek from the CoverGirl than I did do with the Fenty. It's more of a blush and highlighter together, which is interesting. I'm just adding a little bit more of the shadow because I feel like it's already kind of mushed on both sides a little bit. So just to make sure I'm fair, I'm adding it onto both sides and kind of blending it, trying to make them match as exactly as possible. There we go. That's a little better. Now they match a little bit better. So let me go ahead and let's just talk about, look at my face. Let's look close up what we got going on. Both sides, CoverGirl, high end. We're doing okay. Let me go ahead and zoom you out. All right, so at this point, we are going to take a little break, and you are going to take a little break to see lip swatches. And while you're watching the lip swatches, many hours will be going by in my time, and I will be able to show you the wear test and show you how these things lasted on my face for the rest of the day. It is kind of late. It is currently just after 4 o'clock, and I need to go pick up my kids. So yeah, I'm late for the bus, and I will see you guys in a little while. Check out those swatches right now.
Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear, driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear, like an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun, running, no. Told my boss that I'm done. Had no luck with my mom. Say, what will you do with your life? You know it's hard to survive. A cigar in my mouth. Maybe guilty but proud. Now I'm an outlaw on the run. Dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running low. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running low. Keep running low.
If the hair on your neck don't stand up, did I do it right? And if my phone don't buzz when the morning comes, did you spend the night? Well, I'm alright, I'm alright. Still might try, still might try. What if I spend the night one more time? If that song I love don't speak to you like it does to me, and if I'm not insane, then I'll say goodbye so carefully. 'Cause I'm alright, still might try, still might try. What if I spend the night one more time? Love's on the back of my mind, on the back of my mind. I think I'll give it a try, give it a try. I'm alright, still might try, still might try. What if I spend the night one more time? And if the words that we say climb up all the way, can we keep them there? And if it's too far to fall, that means nothing at all. I'm too crazy to care. It's not right, still might try, still might try. What if I spend the night one more time? Love's on the back of my mind, on the back of my mind. I think I'll give it a try, give it a try. I'm alright, still might try, still might try. What if I...
All right, my friends, it has been, oh my goodness, I was like 5 minutes late picking up my kids. My neighbor was walking my kids home and I was like, I felt so bad. But it's 6:24, which means it's been about 2 hours. I just wanted to mostly check in on the lipstick because I just ate dinner. This is what we had for dinner. It is pork shumai meatballs with ponzu dipping sauce, and it says snap peas, but we had green beans instead. I just wanted to show you how my lipstick wore. I didn't wipe it off, like I didn't use a napkin or anything. I tried not to. I tried to like keep my lips as clean as possible, but there was oil. There's sesame oil and different things. There's ponzu sauce, stuff like that in there. So let me zoom you in so you can see how my lipstick is lasting. So remember, this side is the Dose of Colors. This side is the CoverGirl. They're both wearing away on the inner part of my lips, which makes sense because I was eating oils. But other than that, they pretty much look the same. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick little touch up because it looks a little crazy right now. I'm surprised that they did end up matching pretty closely. I'm just gonna go ahead and see how this layers. So if you know you're out at a restaurant and you eat and you want to reapply over top, let's see how that works. Start with CoverGirl. Side note, Dose of Colors is one of my favorite liquid lipstick formulas. Remember, as it dries down, they're gonna end up matching pretty closely, but I feel like they layered really nicely over top. I think it looks really good. So I am headed to ukulele lessons. Let's check in. Again, this has only been 2 hours, but I'm headed to ukulele, and then we'll be back and I'll put the kids to bed, and then I'll do a final check-in and give you my final review thoughts on everything that I tried from this collection. All right, my friends, we are back. It is currently about 11:25 at night. You didn't realize it had actually been 7 hours that whole time you were watching that. It's been 7 hours, so if you had anything to do today, I'm sorry. And I did want to show you how the makeup wore, so let's go ahead and zoom in. All right, so I'm zooming in super, super close. The lips look terrible on both sides, but for the record, I never would have let it get this bad. Like ever in a million years. What I probably would have done would have been to add a gloss over top to smooth this craziness out. Remember, this side is the Dose of Colors, this side is the CoverGirl. So let's go ahead and add a gloss and just show you how it might even out. Actually, just for fun, let's go ahead and add this double platinum glitter. I actually wore this for What's Up in Makeup 1 week as like a in the center of my lip, and I got a lot of compliments that week on my lip color. Let me show you right now before I put it on. It's not looking good. It's also feeling a little bit dry on both sides, which is not my personal preference, but... So as you can see, the gloss really does blend everything together. And I always have a lip balm in my pocket for liquid lipsticks or a lip gloss to do exactly this. The only thing you have to be careful about is, depending on the gloss, it could make the lipstick transfer outside of the lip line if it gets a little too smooshy. But this pairing actually works really well. So let's check out everything else that's on the face. Let's just start with the complexion. So we'll look at the foundation. Remember, CoverGirl side, high-end side. I'm gonna check that out. I mean, to my eyes, you are very, very zoomed up. You are seeing me better than I can see me at this point. And I don't see a difference between my two sides at this point, at least with my eyes in the mirror. The highlight is definitely still on both sides. I think it looks really good. And like I said, the complexion with the primer is still looking really good. I don't have any weird foundation caking into my wrinkles or anything. We're looking pretty stinking good. So let's look at the brows. I feel like the brows are pretty much the same as well. And look at the eyes though. Remember, this is CoverGirl eyeshadow on both sides, but we have got Urban Decay and then CoverGirl on this side. I mean, like, what? They look exactly the same. Same with the liner. The liner still looks good on both sides, which is ridiculously impressive. As far as the mascara goes, I didn't get any smudging or flaking or anything with the CoverGirl mascara, but it's not a very impressive mascara overall. Now, if you look at the lips, now that the gloss has been on for a minute, the CoverGirl side looks a little bit chunkier, a little bit cakier than the Dose of Colors side. So there is a slight difference between the way that they're handling this gloss. And believe it or not, if you look here, at least for me, I feel like I can see a little bit more fallout on the Urban Decay side than I can on the CoverGirl side as far as the eyeshadow having glitter falling through the day. It seems like the CoverGirl actually kept the sparkles on my eye better than the Urban Decay, which is mind-blowing to me. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom out for final thoughts on each one of these products from the line. All right, so let's talk about drawer number 1, which was the flip open with the video screen. Hello, editing Jen here. So yeah, we're gonna pause right now because what ended up happening with this part of the video is it was boring as all get up. I watched this part and I was falling asleep and it was terrible, my whole full review part. So we're going to not bore you to tears and we're gonna do a little voiceover with some images of the products, and I'm gonna give you my final thoughts along with a little bit of ingredient analysis. So let's go ahead and get started started with the Vitalist Go Glow Luminizing Lotion. This product I had a really nice experience with. I loved the luminizing effect of it. I loved that it worked really well as a primer for me. The downsides of this is that the product does include dimethicone, which can cause acne in some people. Also, cyclopentasiloxane is not very environmentally friendly. So if you can wipe this off and throw it in the trash rather than washing it directly into the sink, then that is a good thing. It also has artificial fragrance and an ingredient called bismuth oxychloride, which is irritating for some people. But as far as positives, there are some really good humectants in here that will help to bring moisture into your skin and also to help your skin retain moisture. There's also some really nice skin brightening ingredients in here. So for me, this one is a purchase. Now going on to the Healthy Concealer, this product I did not enjoy at all. I did not find it to be effective as a concealer. If you want something to be a little bit brightening, then you might enjoy this. But the shade range of this is absolutely atrocious. The fact that they call this shade right here, the deepest shade you see, deep, is insulting in my opinion. As far as ingredients go, a cyclopentasiloxane, again, that's the one that's not good, really very good for the environment. It also has talc in it that some people are sensitive to, dimethicone again, and it does have something called propylparaben, and some people are very sensitive to those. If you're not sensitive to propylparaben, you can Google and find out more about that. A lot of these scary things that we've heard about parabens actually aren't true. As far as positive, we do have some skin brightening ingredients and some humectant ingredients in here, but for me, this is definitely a not purchase. It is not effective. There is very minimal coverage, and that is not what I'm looking for in a concealer. Also, the shade range is really sad. Moving on to the Vitalist Healthy Powder, it only comes in the 4 shades, which I'm going to show you all 4 here, which is also very, very sad. As far as negatives, it does have talc if you're sensitive, dimethicone if you're sensitive, but other than that, nothing really standing out in the ingredients to me. This is a powder that I also do not enjoy. It makes me very matte and flat. I don't like the way the finish is on my skin, but if you like that very, very matte look, you may enjoy this, but for me, this one was a big no. Moving on to the Vitalist Healthy Glow Highlighter. Now, this is one I'm kind of still on the fence about. I kind of like it and I kind of don't like it. It's a little bit oily to the touch, which I don't really like. One thing I'm gonna have to touch base with CoverGirl on for this, I'll put notes in the video description, is that when I Googled the ingredients for this, what came up was other CoverGirl products, including the Healthy Elixir Foundation, the Total Tease Mascara, the Katy Kat Liner, and the Outlast All Day Matte Finishing Powder, which I thought was really, really weird because these formulas are seem completely different, but yet they're the exact same ingredients in the exact same order for the most part. So I don't really understand that. So I'm gonna have to check back with CoverGirl on that one, and I'll put notes in the video description if I ever hear anything back. It should also be noted that there is carmine in this product. This is gonna be a no buy for me. I wouldn't buy this. I don't think that it's worth the price. I think that there's so much better highlighters out there, and personally, I'm a bigger fan of powder highlighters anyway. Are they bad? No, but I don't think that they're worth the price. Now, the Look Lock Up Setting Mist, if you know me, you know I don't like setting sprays, but I can speak to the ingredients on this. I do want to let you know that there are some nicer ingredients further down on this, but the second ingredient in this is denatured alcohol. Like many setting sprays, denatured alcohol is very, very bad for your skin. It causes dryness. It also messes with how your skin replenishes itself and how it trades over the skin cells, and it's just really, really bad for the skin. So I would not recommend this setting mist or any setting mist that has alcohol, denatured or denatured alcohol in the first, I would say, 5 to 10 ingredients. If it's lower down, not a big deal, but it's the second ingredient here. So this one's definitely a no-go. Next, we have something very interesting. This is the Easy Breezy Micro Fine and Define Pencil. I really, really like the way this performed. I found it to be just as good as some of my high-end brow pencils, and I realized why. The ingredient list is actually extremely similar to the Balm's new Furrowlicious Brow Pencil that I really, really like a lot. No big ingredient concerns or benefits in this one, and it's actually a really great deal compared to the one from the Balm, so I would definitely recommend this one. I find it to be be effective. My biggest critique here is the shade range is kind of not good in that two of the shades look almost identical, and you'll have to look here and see if you think there's a shade that matches you, but I think the shade range kind of sucks. But if you can find your shade, then I would say definitely this is a recommend. The other brow product was the Easy Breezy Brow Sculpt and Set Pomade, and it does come in 4 shades as well. There is that cyclopentasiloxane in here, the dimethicone, but with it being on the brows, I'm not sure how much that's going to affect someone with acne, but you just have to decide whether it's right for you. Some people are sensitive to talc. Petrolatum is in here. Some people don't like it. Personally, I have no problems with petrolatum being in my cosmetics, and I do like this pomade. I do find it to be easy to work with. I like the format with a little brow brush in there, so this is definitely something I would recommend if you can find your shade, because again, the shades are kind of meh. Now, of course, the Lid Lock-Up Eyeshadow Primer. Oh my gosh, most amazing thing in this entire kit. This thing is so good for me. It has been an extremely effective eyeshadow primer for me. It's a highly recommend. I have heard from some of my subscribers that have dry skin that it does not work well for them. So maybe people with dry lids may have more difficulty with this. For me, it has been amazing. And just so you know, it does have the exact same ingredients as the Rimmel Magnifies primer, which Rimmel is also owned by the same parent company. So I guess they just brought that one over from the UK and renamed it as a CoverGirl product. The Katy Kat eyeshadow palettes are so good. I really enjoy them. I love the lasting power on them. I love the blendability on them. Are they just as good as my high-end eyeshadow palettes? No, but are they close? Yes, absolutely. I think they are definitely worth the price at $9.99 if you like those shades. Just so you know, they are mica and talc based. There is methylparaben in these and also ethylparaben. There's ultramarines and ferric ferrocyanide, so these are not lip safe. And there's also carmine if you do not like carmine in your products. That pigment is made from crushed bugs. But if none of that bothers you, both of these palettes are absolutely fantastic. Now moving on to the Get In Line liquid eyeliner, another definite recommend from me to you. I love this eyeliner. I love how fine the brush is, how black the black goes on. It is so opaque and so easy to use. It doesn't really seep into my fine lines very much. It does skip a little bit over where my lids aren't super taut, but most eyeliners do, so it's not a big complaint. One thing to keep in mind is it does have denatured alcohol as the third ingredient, so if you have dry lids, keep an eye out for irritation from the denatured alcohol. But other than that, I couldn't find anything to complain about. It's really great. And if you, like when I messed up in the demo, if you have trouble with this and you make a mistake, it's very easy to remove and reapply without making a huge mess, which I absolutely love. Peacock Flare Mascara. This was a terrible mascara for me. I felt like it didn't do anything. It was way too dry for me. Also, it is the exact same formula as the Max Factor Dark Magic Mascara, even down to the wand. So if you have tried that mascara, which I believe was only released in the UK in winter of 2018, if you've tried it, it's the exact same thing. The only ingredient that I found that was a little bit for me is it does have shellac in it, which is made from beetles. So, you know, just so you know that's in there, but I did not like this formula at all, neither the regular or the waterproof. Now the Melting Pout liquid lipsticks, I couldn't get the ingredients fast enough for this video, but I do have a question into CoverGirl about that, so I will put any notes in the video description. But as far as this liquid lipstick, I thought it was okay. It was a little too drying for me. I could always feel kind of a film over my lips that I did not like at all. The darker colors definitely went on patchy in some cases, but depending on the pigmentation of your lips, you may not see that patchiness as much as I do. So kind of matching these colors closer to whatever your natural color is of your lips is probably a better idea. Overall, these were just okay for me. Lasting power was fine, but they weren't comfortable enough for me, so these are gonna be a no. But the Queen Collection Major Shade I actually really liked. For a matte liquid lipstick, they are quite comfortable. They're definitely not super comfortable, but they're quite comfortable. Very similar to the Dose of Colors formula, and I really like these a lot. lot. These are definitely something I would have purchased, either recommend from me to you. I feel like they go on pretty evenly, except for when I get to those colors that are so much different than my natural lip color, and then those end up looking a little bit patchy and wonky and funky. But the shades, for the most part, are very beautiful, and even those darker shades I can build up to being more opaque, but then I feel like the formula gets heavier on my lips, which I don't like. Just like the other liquid lipsticks, I couldn't get a formula on these, but I will put any notes in the video description as far as the formula. But for me, these are definitely a thumbs up so far. And finally, the Katy Kat lip gloss. If I had to pick any of the lip products, I would probably pick the lip glosses. They are so comfortable. They are so shiny. Of course, they're just glosses, so they're not going to be as opaque, especially when you get further away from your natural lip color. But as you saw in the lip swatches, they really can be extremely beautiful. Number one ingredient in these is petrolatum. So if you don't like petrolatum, again, you want to stay far away from these. I, again, have no problem with those. There is propylparaben though, so if you are sensitive to that, then you definitely want to stay away from these. There's also carmine. If you don't like carmine, you don't want those. But overall, I really like the Katy Kat lip glosses, and this would definitely be a purchase for me. I hope you enjoyed the voiceover. I promise you it was much better than what you would have watched if you had to watch me at 11:30 at night, sleepy, and this is the product, and this is the product. Trust me, this was much better. I hope you liked it. Let's go ahead and cut to the end of the video where I'll just go ahead and say goodbye and wish you well till the next video. And is that it? Did I get everything? I think that's it. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you've tried any of the products that are in the CoverGirl Spring line, I would love to know your thoughts on them and whether there's something that you've been enjoying, whether you agree with me, disagree with me. It's totally fine. We are the collective brain of makeup awesomeness. We work together. So if there's a way that you feel like I could be using these better, if you have a suggestion, if you have a different skin type, a different skin tone than me, leave your thoughts down below so we can all learn from you. So make sure you read down there, check it out. I think you will love the people that you meet down in the comment section. It truly is a community here, and I absolutely love it. So thank you so much for participating in that. It really does make this place very, very special. So thank you again so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed and you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe and join the collective brain. Mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Thank you to CoverGirl for allowing me to try these. I appreciate you as well. And yeah, I'll see you in a video soon.